Well, it is that time of the year again. Spring semester is almost over, and you know what that means. College COD is in postseason mode. It's been going on for quite some time, but now we are starting to figure out who a few of these teams will be that we will see at LAN at the end of the year. So, buckle on up. Let's get ourselves set up. It's regional playoffs. My name is Proper. This is your After Action Report, presented by Nelnet Bank. Start of the weekend off in the Southeast. Winners round 1 with the UCF Knights and KSU COD. It's been a rough year for the Knights in Division 1, and Kennesaw State comes in with all the confidence in the world on top of the open division. That being said, given some divisional weightings, this is a match that could go either direction. And that direction is right down to Central Florida. Whatever season the Knights had went right out the window in this match. There was no room for error, and they made no errors as they took the W over the Owls in a swift 3-0.
For Epitome, you do have those cruise missiles. Potential to see them get called in with this last remainder P4, but it doesn't seem like they need it. The guns are everything that you need right now. If you're UCF, Epitome 23-4, another 8 spree. You've got to be kidding me. Nobody can stop Epitome right now.
Coming up next was LSU COD and Florida Gulf Coast. LSU coming in from the middle of the Pac-4 Division 1, while FGCU have been making a statement down in Division 2, finishing their year off with a clean 13-0 record. And FGCU came to play tonight. LSU made them work for it though. FGCU took the series 3-0 and continued their dominance, still not dropping a single map in their 2023 season.
Lang, Dead Silence going to be popped. Petrov just waiting to excel, but I'm not sure the read's going to be there. And Kirsch gets the better of him. The right read at the right time.
Next up, we'll head over to the Midwest in Winners Round 3, picking up with Michigan Esports and SIUE. Top 4 finalists from the 2022 CCL LAN, SIUE, are looking to punch their tickets back to for 2023. At the other end of the court, Michigan Esports, they are out for blood and revenge. It took a minute for the Cougars to wake up this series, but boy howdy did they ever. After dropping the first map, they won the next 3 handily, taking the series 3-1 and moving forward in the winner's bracket. Props to the Wolverines for some great hardpoint prowess, but COD is a 3-game mode esport, and SIUE knew this just a bit better today.
The 1 versus 3 has to get around this Gallo. What is happening right now?
Is anyone else feeling some deja vu? We've seen the matchup of St. Clair Saints and Davenport Panthers before, and more often than not, it's gotten the way of the Saints. Panthers have had a rough go of it this season, but there's never a bad time to turn it around. The curse has been broken. Davenport Panthers put their heads down and showed the work they've been putting in to sweep the Saints 3-0. Now don't get me wrong, it could have gone back and forth at any point in time, but the Panthers knew just how to tilt the scales in their favor tonight. And they'll move forward into the winners finals, while the Saints will drop down in the Midwest bloodbath of a lower bracket. Davenport, your hardest test has yet to come.
On the back, he's gonna get pushed aside from it, and no freaking way, dude!
And that test will come in the form of your 2022 College COD champions, Northwood Esports. A notably different roster from their championship team, but the Panthers know the core of Bink and Infinite well enough to know that this team settles for nothing but the best. And they call them the best for a reason. Northwood put their foot on the gas and didn't relent for a single second. It was surgical for the first 2 maps, and even though some signs of life were shown by Davenport in the control, Northwood took the winners finals in a 3-0 sweep, setting themselves to the finals and sending Davenport down to the lower bracket.
23 seconds remaining.
He pops open the door. That sound's gonna be popped. Gecko down low.
What?
Doesn't win the gunfight. Then the next on the exit. No way. Dak gets away with the 1v3. Day 2 of regional playoffs were firing off on all cylinders, and now it is do or die, or I guess do not, depending on how you look at it for a few of these teams. We'll be starting off with St. Clair Saints and Michigan Esports. Michigan have been making a run since their loss to SIUE the day before, but the Saints are big green and angry after losing to Davenport. My word, did the Saints smash their way through this match. Aside from a barn burner win from Michigan in the Search and Destroy, this match was a showcase of incredible work put in from the Saints. 2 hardpoints and a control net them the win here, sending the Wolverines home and setting themselves up to meet SIUE next in the bracket.
Now it's a 1 versus 1. This time, Blame trying to be the clutch man for Michigan. Spotted down below inside of Art. Shots from relays are good.
Next up was over in the West with St. Edwards and CSUN Esports. The Hilltoppers are as hot as ever, but CSUN came off one hell of a Game 5, upsetting Texas State and knocking them out of the tournament to move forward. They are a scary team to face right now. The Hilltoppers did it once, and by golly, did they do it again. It was 3 up and 3 down in favor of the Hilltoppers to take the match here, albeit not without a fight. 56-point difference in the hardpoint and a round 11 win in the search and destroy meant that CSUN fought to the bitter end, but it was the Hilltoppers who took this match, and they'll move forward in the last legs of the bracket.
Do they want to beat Eon's 50? Polo's still here. Two players stack the point. Polo by himself. Looks over towards the right, looks back left. Eons cleans things up in the Hilltoppers.
Well, if you couldn't get enough for the first time, the second time, the third time, who knows how many times we're up to at this point, it's time for yet another meeting of St. Clair Esports and the Davenport Panthers, this time with everything on the line. The series started off hot. Davenport made a hell of a run in the hardpoint, but just fell short, handing the series edge to St. Clair, and well, the Saints took that edge all series long. In a stark contrast to their last meeting, the script was flipped and was Davenport who fell 0-3. The Saints didn't let off the gas even for a second, and it showed.
Really need to miss some of those shots, and oh my gosh, Blade's gonna line up a couple. Timing cannot be worse than exit. You gotta be ready for that.
So it was time to pick up the pieces. Grand Finals league-wide over in the West with a St. Edward's Hilltoppers took on Oklahoma Christian. In the Midwest, Northwood Esports were taking on St. Clair Saints. The Farmingdale St. Rams were taking on Fisher in the Northeast. And to cap it off, the ULNA Dragons took on Mars Hill. Let's get it on. St. Edward struck first in their match, but the Falcons struck back, and they took the last 3 maps of that series to win 3-1 and punch their tickets to land. Fisher was next up against Farmingdale State Rams, and that was business as usual for them. Quick 3-0 led the Falcons to the Series W, and for Druxy, his second CCL LAN appearance. Northwood also made quick work of the Saints in a 3-0 sweep, sending Bink and Infinite back to LAN as well. The match between the ULNA Dragons and the Mars Hill Mountain Lions went heavily in favor of the Dragons. Mars Hill ran out of gas, and that paved the way for the Dragons to take the series in a 3-0 sweep. And with that, Fisher, Northwood, Oklahoma Christian, and University of North America will be seeing you on LAN. And that is it. The regional playoffs are over. 4 teams have now exited and have punched their ticket to LAN, but that means that 4 more teams can then qualify for LAN, rounding out the 8-team double elimination bracket that we'll have at the end of the road again on LAN. That means that those other 3 teams that placed in the top 4 per region will be divvied on up into their respective regions and will qualify via the last LAN qualifier. You can find all that action at twitch.tv/collegecod. Find all of the updates and more at twitter.com/collegecod. From 200 plus teams at the beginning of the year, now down to just 16. This is what it's all about. We are getting down to the nitty gritty, the wire, if you will. Make sure that you tune in to find out what colleges will be making it to LAN at the end of the road. As always, my name is Proper. This has been your After Action Report presented by Nelnet Bank.